YouTube! What's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy, Numbers Fan Jay. My favorite sport is back. Football is back, y'all. High school football just got started. College football just kicked off. The NFL season game opener, day one opener is next Thursday. Everything, we rolling now. Now we rolling. So we got a lot to talk about. But starting at the top, before we get to that, we have to talk about Andrew Luck. We got to talk about Andrew Luck. So Andrew Luck just retired at the age of 29. We all know his injury history, how he's never felt like, he was saying that he's always felt like he was trying to rehab from an injury. He was trying to get back from an injury to play the sport that he genuinely loves and has a passion for. A big topic as of late has been the fan reaction, which in my opinion, after I've thought about it for a while, I've considered everything, I feel like they were justified, and I'm gonna tell you why. Well, they drafted Andrew Luck as a successor to Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Andrew Luck came in with very high expectations, and he flashed potential every year. The injuries piled up, so the front office figured out, hey, we got to get an old line for this guy. We can't keep letting him take hits. Well, they finally got no line for him last year. Their fan base is getting hyped. This team is thinking that they're about to go on a Super Bowl run. They're a team, analysts are predicting this team to win the Super Bowl, or to at least go to the Super Bowl. They're listed as the top team in the AFC going into the season. They're healthy, they have depth, they were looking scary. And then a week before the season starts, your quarterback says he's retiring. The quarterback that you just built this whole team around for the past 7 years. Granted, they never reached the Super Bowl in those 7 years. It's just, I believe that it's more about the timing of his retirement. If Andrew Luck would have retired at the end of last season, or if Andrew Luck would have retired right before the draft, this reaction would not be the same. They didn't boo because he retired. They booed because of the timing. So I do believe they are justified, because it was just, he didn't give anybody a warning. He didn't let anybody know, hey, I might not be coming back. Like, it was just, he got up one morning and was like, you know what? I'm done. And for people like season ticket holders, you think of people, ambassadors, you think of just everybody that puts money into going to see these games, going to wanting this team to succeed, to have the quarterback that you built the team around, to have your franchise player just retire right before the season starts. Like, he's been getting all the practice reps with the starting team. He's been building chemistry with his receivers. He's been doing everything he's supposed to do. And all of a sudden it's just like, no. Well, on the other side of that, I've thought about this too. As a quarterback, you do more than pretty much everybody else on the field. You not only build chemistry with your receivers, you build chemistry with your O-line. You figure out your protections. You learn how to read blitzes and coverages. You learn how to adjust plays at the line. Then you have to kind of adjust to the play style of the offensive coordinator. If you get a new coordinator, you have to adjust to him. Maybe he doesn't like a lot of adjustments at the line. It's a lot of things that go into playing quarterback. You keep those responsibilities and you add on injuries after injury after injury after injury. It takes a toll on you mentally and physically. So he was also justified in retiring. It was just a bad time. I believe that Andrew Luck could have made this decision 3 weeks earlier at the very least. But it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think about Andrew Luck, man. What you think about the Colts fans booing him? What do you think about him retiring at such a young age? Do you think he'll come back? Because he can't come back. But anyway, also I want to talk to y'all college football. Miami played Florida. I am a Miami fan. I like the U. I've always liked the U. Very disappointed because I believe they should have won that game. For those of you who didn't watch the game, Miami lost in what was it, 20-24. The final drive of the game, really throughout the game, their O line was just getting beat off the ball every play, and it was just like, what do you do? They got a few plays where they scored, but their O line was getting destroyed. That last drive of the game, they just looked really tired and just overmatched. Like they could not stop this D line from coming through to their quarterback. And the quarterback was he'd taken so many hits, he stopped looking downfield. So he'll get back there, snap the ball, get the snap in the shotgun, take one step, here comes the rush. So he's stepping up, evading, but he never looks back downfield because he's ready to get hit. So he's like, oh, no. To the point where he's running out of bounds, losing yards instead of running to the side like a pro quarterback would do and throwing the ball away. He's running all the way out of bounds, losing 5 yards, which is pretty much a sack. So Miami definitely has to work those issues out. I do love the fight that they put up. At one point, I thought they were going to pull away with the game. When it was about 8.5 minutes left, they got the ball back with the lead. I thought they were going to pull away from Florida. But Florida showed why they are ranked, and they found a way to win the game because that's what they do. So, anyways, moving on. As promised, I was going to talk to you guys about my fantasy draft strategy. So, like I said before, I've been doing fantasy draft for about 4 years now. My own league. Each league is different. Each fantasy league is different. So you have to adjust to how the scoring is going to be. You have to pay attention to the scoring settings. That's how I go off. That's how I begin my draft research. So I start off with going through the settings to see how this league manager has their scoring settings set up. Me personally, my league is 2 quarterbacks. That's pretty much the only unconventional thing. Traditionally, the fantasy draft is built up, the fantasy teams are made up of 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, a flex, a kicker, and a defensive special teams. So, of course, we all know what quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end is. A flex is the position that it could either be a running back or a receiver. It's up to the owner of the team. So if I wanted to have 3 running backs, I can do that. If I wanted to have 3 wide receivers, I could do that. So it's an optional slot. But anyway, going into more of the strategy. So the way I do my draft, so my league is 2 quarterbacks, right? And I know that my quarterbacks are going to score the majority of the points because that's the way I have my points set up. I have the points set up. I can't remember exactly what the points are, but I did buff the points for quarterbacks because it's a quarterback-driven league. So I made that position score more than any other position for the most part. Now, you have your Julios, you have your Odells, you have your Todd Gurley's, your Le'Veon Bells that are going to score at the running backs and going to score at other positions, receivers, stuff like that. But you always want to go, your first 2 to 3 picks should be your main players that you're going to score with. So for me, in my league, first round, I will usually draft a quarterback or a running back. Because I know that running backs can run the ball and they can catch the ball. Receivers can do the same, but you see it more from running backs. You know, you have to check downs with the running backs. They're more likely to get points. Now, in a PPR league, points per reception, you're going to want to go with the receiver because they're going to get more targets than a running back. But I always draft, in my league, I always go quarterback or running back first. Traditional league, you're gonna want to go running back or receiver because they're gonna score more points than the quarterback. Like I said, my league has 2 quarterbacks. Traditional leagues have 1. So after that, you're gonna want to go by the best talent available for the most part. So you're gonna go. For me, I go traditional. I go running back or receiver, whichever one is high up there. If Julio's up there, I'll take Julio. If Zeke is up there, if Todd Gurley's up there, if Le'Veon's up there, I'll take those guys off the board first in the first round. But positions that you want to draft last, kicker. Draft kicker last. Defense usually comes later. If you want to take the best defense, you can, but do not take the best defense in the first 3 rounds. Definitely don't take them in the first 3 rounds. I always look at the systems that players are in. So a player that I drafted this year was Tevin Coleman. I told you guys how in the 49ers video, the video about the NFC West, told you guys how he will be going back into a system that he's very familiar with Kyle Shanahan, the guy that was the offense coordinator for the Falcons that took them to the Super Bowl that year. So it's always good to know your familiarity with the coaches and the players. So that means offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. It's always good to know who's on the team when you're talking about drafting defenses. You want to know, like, Seattle's defense isn't the same as it was when they were winning Super Bowl, when they were going to the Super Bowl. So you might not want to draft Seattle's defense that high. What else? Also want to look at injury history, contract holdouts. So I know that, sad to say, but I know that Andrew Luck had an injury history, so I wouldn't draft him high as a quarterback. I would let a few rounds go by before I'll make that leap for him, basically. Also, you want to look at players like Le'Veon Bell, kind of risky because they've been off. He's been off a year. Anybody that's not played the last season or has played very little the season before and they're looking to have a big workload the next year, it's a risk, of course. So I wouldn't take Le'Veon Bell first either. But, of course, some people still do. But I wouldn't take Le'Veon Bell first. I would probably go early in the second round with him. If he's still available to you in the second round, take that risk because he's a generational type of player. You just don't know how much production you're going to get out of him with a brand new team, brand new coordinator, brand new scheme overall. Players like Antonio Brown, who have played, but they are also on a new team, also kind of risky. We know that Antonio Brown is kind of a diva as well, so he can kind of throw his own mental game off and just be off in the game. But that's how I drafted, guys. Let me know how y'all draft your fantasy teams. Let me know what else y'all want me to talk about. Y'all want to open the discussion. Drop some topics. Let me know what y'all guys want to hear. Let me know if y'all like anything, if y'all dislike anything about how I'm doing my videos. Let me know. Give me some feedback. What's going on? Holla at your boy. But all right, y'all. That's all I got for you today. It's your boy, Jay. We out of here.